Hey everyone, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. This is the last NBA Finals edition. I'm your host, Ron Fitch, and I'm going to tell you why I was 100% right. I told you the series was over after game five. I said the Bucks would take care of business, and they did exactly what I thought they would do. I didn't know Giannis would get 50, but I'm going to get into that. Now, congrats to the Bucks to win their first NBA title since 1971. Oscar Robertson and Bobby Dandridge and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That team swept the Washington Bullets at the time with Wes Unseld, Boyce, and Earl of Pearl Monroe, and they whooped up on the Bullets at the time. But now this series, Giannis, 50 points. It was a good game. They battled. Both teams battled. As usual, the Bucks killed them on the boards. 11 offensive rebounds to 6, and that's always going to lead to more shots, more opportunities for Giannis to get the ball and dunk on Phoenix Suns like he'd been doing all series. Giannis had 50 points, and I'm going to tell you how good he played. Because a lot of times you think, oh, yeah, a lot of dunks. It wasn't just that. He had 2 turnaround jump shots, 1 pull-up jumper, and 1 3-point shot. I believe it was 1 of 4 from 3. Okay? That's 9 points. Now, he went 7. This is the thing. He went 17 of 19 from the free throw line. He got to the line and he nailed every shot. There's no countdown. So he had 26 points from jump shots and foul shots. And he had 24 points in the paint, scoring in the paint like he normally does with dunks or 2-foot and 3-foot shots. So he was good. And he had, and this is what he's good he's always good with this. He had 5 blocks. He was all over the place. I saw a play where Bridges thought he had him, and he caught up to Bridges and pent his shot, and he was just as good as anybody has ever played in the NBA Finals. 14 rebounds, and delivered when his team needed it. And the experience of the Bucks took over because they had their heart broken over and over and over and over. This is the Suns' first, this group, other than Chris Paul, this group, this is their first shot at the title, and it showed. But the Bucks were determined to win because of getting their heart broke by the Celtics, getting your heart broke by the Toronto after blowing a 2-0 lead, getting your heart broke by the Miami Heat, getting slaughtered by the Heat, who was an okay team, but they slaughtered the Bucks. So everybody's questioning Giannis. This guy needs a superstar. He needs to leave. He doesn't have enough talent. He needs help. He needs help. He needs help. I heard this one person say he needs help. But then they was like, we won the title. Like, come on now. I read a post. I said, no, I'd say he got help. Trust me. He had help. Holiday had 12 points. Holiday's unsung hero this whole series with the block and the alley-oop play. Middleton he only needed 17. He didn't have to go crazy, but he gave you a big performances. Big performances in Game 7 against the Nets. Big performances. Every time you needed a big performance, he delivered. And the Bucks are the champs. And they were the healthiest, too. And that helped. And they got contributions. Bob Porter, 16 points. Connaughton didn't go crazy. Scoring, he didn't score, but he was been good and hitting huge 3-point shots under pressure. So everybody contributed. Everybody that played earned that ring. And I knew, even though Phoenix had a 55-50 lead in the third quarter, I'm saying to myself, if the Bucks are even, they're leaving. As soon as the Bucks took their first lead, I believe it was 56-55. If I'm correct, 56-55. Giannis hits his second free throw. After that, the Bucks led, and when they led the whole way through. Because the thing is, if you can't get a rebound, you're never going to be able to come back when you in a deficit. And that was Phoenix's fault. They couldn't rebound, and they just weren't tough enough in this series. And the Bucks were tougher. Both teams were close to even talent-wise, but the Bucks had a little more heart and toughness and grit, and they were able to grind it out. Even they lost game 2, it gave them the confidence. Game 3, I knew they were going to beat them up in game 3. I knew the Bucks were going to beat the Suns up. I told you game 4 was a swing game. And when the Suns, they had their one opportunity to win this series, and they blew it in game 4, and it was never, and it's unfortunate because you're probably not going to see the Suns back for a while. Even though it's got a nice young team, you don't know if Paul's staying. This was such a golden opportunity for the franchise to get the first title, and they blew an opportunity. And sometimes you get opportunities, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they never come back, and you just got to live in regret. And they may regret game 4. It's unfortunate because I believe in 1970, they blew a 3-1 lead to Wilt Chamberlain. They blew an opportunity in game 6 versus the Chicago Bulls on Jordan. They blew it late. The following year, they blew a 2-0 lead when they won the first 2 games in Houston to Clutch City, to Hakeem and them. The following year, they took a 3-1 lead with 2 out of the next 3 at home, and they blew that. And they lost in that series. Rockets had the last 3. And then 2007, they were a much better team than the Spurs. But then Robert Horry hip checks Steve Nash, and people come off the bench, and they blow that. They blow that series. They blow the last 2 games, and now this. It's unfortunate this organization can't get over the hump to get that NBA title. They've had a lot of great players, a lot of Hall of Famers. They just can't make that 1 or 2 plays in the fourth quarter that helps them, and it's unfortunate. And it's the problem with the Suns, and I'll get to the Bucks later going forward. The Suns got to deal with the fact that the Lakers are going to get a star. And I want to see what the Clippers are going to do with Kawhi. If the Clippers are going to, Jerry West is going to make some moves. The team I'll really be concerned about of the Suns is Golden State. Because, Clay's coming back. I think he's going to be just fine. Draymond's there. They got a lot of pieces they can add. They'll add another star player. You just watch. That's a well-run organization. Once they get going, that's good. And then you got Memphis and Utah. You got these other young guns. This was it. LeBron was hurt. Kawhi was hurt. This was the opportunity to win a title, and they blew game 4, and that was it. And we may never see the Suns in our lifetime get back, unfortunately. Maybe because they're younger, even if Paul leaves or whatever happens, maybe they get another guy to go along with this young nucleus with Booker, and maybe they get back and they win it. I'm a Cubs fan, so all things are possible. But, man, when that opportunity comes, you better cash in because Steve Nash, we all thought they were going to win a championship. He couldn't get it done when they were the best team in the West. He couldn't get to the finals for whatever reason. They couldn't beat Dirk. They couldn't beat Duncan when they were better at their times. Then they lost to Kobe once Kobe got his teammates right because they were beating him a couple of years. And then he finally got Gasol and Odom and all those guys. He got the help he needed, and they didn't beat him. And they lost because they couldn't secure a rebound when Metta World Peace got her offensive rebound in game 5. So it's just one thing after another with this franchise. I like to see them. I'm a Lakers fan, but I like to see the Suns win. I just like the Clippers. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind the Suns winning, but it's going to be tough now. This was the opportunity. The Bucks saw this is their opportunity. Bucks said the same thing. We might not get back. The Nets are going to be better. You give Joel Embiid some help. I mean, God forbid if Damian Lillard goes to Philadelphia and team up with Joel Embiid, watch out. Watch out. If the Sixers can get that right guy to go with Embiid, the Nets are going to come back. Harden's going to come back. Harden realized, I hope he does. I hope he realized he threw away an opportunity to win a championship ring by coming in like a fat slob and then trying to work his way out of Houston being fat and then coming in with the Nets. All right, I'm going to work my way into shape. Now you have all these hamstring issues, and it cost them an opportunity to get to the finals and win it because a healthy Harden might have been what got him over the hump against the Bucks in a close series where it was just KD after Harden was not healthy and he was throwing the ball all over the place. So Harden, if I'm Harden, you better come back, and he needs to win a title because he blew this. Chris Paul made some bad mistakes, so he's got to live with that. But Harden, oof, yuck. That's not good either. What went down with him. But the Nets will be back. So the Bucks realize maybe this is our best opportunity. But now if Giannis kid, because he's going to have to start hitting. He hit the shots in this game, but he's going to have to start to hit more perimeter shots as he gets older, and he can't just terrorize guys under the basket. And I think he realized that he's a hard worker. He puts in so much work, and it paid off. And good for him. Good for him that he has his title. He's going to want more, but the Bucks, that's up to the Bucks and how hungry they're going to be and how they're to hunt it next year. Everybody's going to be gunning for the Bucks. So it's going to be a little harder, and then you might not have those injuries to Kyrie and Harden or the Sixers imploding like they did. And the Hawks are going to be better. The Hawks had some pieces. You better watch out for Atlanta. Atlanta was right there, almost ready to get to the finals. So that is the NBA landscape. It was a good season for the Milwaukee Bucks, and they are a deserved champion.